Hi, Emmanuel here with T2S Transformed to Succeed. In this demo, I'm gonna share about the find command. On a Linux system, the find command is so essential, and a lot of times it even comes up during interviews when you are applying for a Linux job. The find command always comes up. So we're gonna look at how you can use this command on a Linux system. So let's jump in and get to work. So here we have I have my command line open, and I'm using CentOS 9. Also, it's installed on VMware Fusion on a Mac computer. When you think about the find command, you need to understand that it has like 4 key parts. So you have the command itself, find. Then next, you have to specify a path, and then you have the search option. The search option here, options could be anything like name. You can search by name, you can search by permissions, you can check by inode, you can check by a-time, a-main, m-time, you can check by size as well as by type. Then the final component of the syntax when you use the find command is action. Action, this is where you decide what to do with what you have found. You can either delete, you can maybe save it someplace, or you can just use the OK command. And I'm gonna explain to you all of these as we start looking at the commands and the different options that we can use. So I'm gonna X out of here by pressing Ctrl+C, and I will clear my screen by using the clear command. So my screen has been cleared, and now what we do, we're gonna start with the first find command here. So let's say I want to see what I have here, so I use the ls command. Okay, I'll touch file 21 here to create it, and see that I have created file 21, and I also have file 1 ACL here. I'll clear my screen, and my first command is to find. Remember, find, and then you have the path, meaning the location where you want to go find whatever you need to find. So I have find, and then I press the dot to say I want to find in this specific location. This is where I want to find. And what do I need to find? I want to find files that has the name file 21. Now, so after you use the find command, then you have the path, meaning here in this current directory, and then the search by, that's the option. So I want to search by name, and I have file. So actually I can do this here, meaning that every file that begins with the word FILE will be, and that's what I'm looking for. So then that's the option, and that star, that's the wild card. That's how it is called in Linux. And then the action in this for this specific command, so I'm just gonna print. Okay, to explain to you again what we're doing here, find where in this is a path, in this directory by name, and then what do we want to find? Every file that begins with FILE, and then the action. What do I do with what I find? I want to print. So press enter, and find paths should precede. Okay, so we have just to make it simple, I'm gonna use the same command. I'm gonna enter the name of the file that we created. So we do that, and you see we found it. Okay, so that's how you can do it. The second command would be find option. So now the location, we want to use this path here, and then the option is name, and the I here represent that ignore case sensitivity. I don't know how I can say that. So it's case insensitive. Like if it's uppercase, okay. If it's lowercase, still fine. So we're looking for anything that begins with USB. And every time you put that wildcard here, it means that every file that has these characters, that's what you're looking for. Okay, so I press enter. This is what I have. So what the find command did, it went to this path here, and that's the dev directory. And then these are the option. This is the option to use for what we were looking for. Then you have the USB, you have the files that we want to find, and this is what we have found. You see here, it begins with USB, it begins with USB, begins with USB, it begins with USB, begins with USB, begin with USB, begins with USB. It doesn't matter what comes after the letter B. Okay, next. I want to find, now I'm going to use the tilde. That's what you find next to the number 1. You know, there's a button, you have the tilde, and then you have like a single quote, quotation mark or single quote or whatever. So you find it's this one. I'm talking about this one, meaning that I want to stay, I'll be in the home directory and of this user, and then I'm gonna search by size, and this is the size that I'm looking for. That's a 1 megabyte. So I want to find here. You see here, this is in this home directory. I want to find files that are lower. You see the minus there, lower than 1 megabyte. That's the size. That's the option, and then I press enter, and this is what I get. I'm gonna clear the screen. We're gonna go to the next command, but this time here we're using different ways of locating the path or the location where we want to go and then find whatever we need to find. And I'm gonna use the option size, but this time when you do the 25 plus m plus 25, it means that every file in this path, in the user directory, that is greater than 25 megabytes. That's what I want. And look at that. Yeah. And here you see this because you know the path here, for the some files that you can access as a normal user, you see here, and the other files that you cannot access as a normal user. like this one here, and for that you need to use sudo. So if I clear the screen, so I'll give you an example. This is the command, then I use sudo. You see, now I can access all of the files because I have that I'm a super user. When when you use the sudo command, you elevated your permissions or privileges. I'm gonna clear that. And the next, what we're gonna do, I'm gonna go quick here so that we can finish all of these commands. I'm gonna say, let's find user. I'm gonna use a different command here. So I'm gonna say in the entire file system, and then I'll search by user. I'm looking for anything that is not a daemon. That's why we use the no there, and then the group, and I'm gonna say user A. So we're gonna go into the entire file system, and we're looking at the user daemon that is not in this group here. That's kind of like what we're trying to do. So we're searching for files in the entire root file system with ownership user set to user daemon, and owning group set to any group other than. That's why we have the not, and sometimes you can use the exclamation mark for negation. So anything other than user A. That's what we're doing here. And here again, you see there's I'm gonna cancel that. You see permission denied, so I'm gonna clear, then I go back and I'll use the sudo here command. So when you do sudo command here, there'll still be some places where you cannot go, but so yeah, you can't do that, okay, but at least you get a sense here. We're gonna move on. I'll clear the screen here, and let's say I want to find in the user directory, and then I'll use the max depth 2, and then type D and names. So what we're trying to do here, we're searching for directories, and you see the type D here. So we're searching for directories, and these directories we can go up to subdirectory levels below to 2. So max it's 2. So you go one level below, and then second level below, then you stop there. So that's what we're doing. So we're missing argument to name. We're gonna need to name subdirectory name. Let's say src here. I'm gonna use the sudo command. So you see, so we have you see here. So this is the user, the primary place where we want to be. Okay, that's the path. And then in this directory, we want to find everything that has the name src, and it should be a directory. That's why we have type here. And max depth 2 means that we can only go to second level as a sub directory. So you have user, then you go first level local, and then second level we find it here. Okay, so we can't go to third level or fourth. No, we only go to 1 level and 2 level. That's why we have the max depth here equal to 2. Okay, I'm gonna clear the screen, and now we have the find. We use again the find command, and this time we're gonna use the _time, and we wanna use 2000, meaning that we find files. So we're gonna find files files that are older, that were modified more than 2000 days ago. So that's why you have the plus here. Files that were modified 2000 days ago. So here we are, and again we were dealing with some issues of some permission issues, so I'm gonna do sudo there. Okay, so we have the files that were modified more than 2000 days ago. Okay, so I'll clear my screen, and then I'm gonna do clear my screen. I'm gonna do another way of using the find command. So this is a type, and the type I'm gonna use the B, and then I'm gonna use the perm option. So you see here we're talking about, this is an octal form of permissions. So you have 6, meaning that the user and the owner has read and write, then the group read and write, and then others, they have nothing, no permissions here. So we're gonna look for blocks. You see B stands for blocks. We're gonna look for blocks in this directory that have permissions set for 660. And then I may probably need to use sudo again here. So I do that, and this is what we get. Another way to use command is the find command is if you go to the var log and then you do the min, so to talk about 100 minutes. So we go to this location, this path, then we're looking for minutes here, min. You know, the other one was time for days, min for minutes. So we're looking for files in this particular location that have been modified in the past, you know, the minus, in the past 100 minutes. So I press enter. Of course, permission denied. I'm gonna use the sudo command here. Okay, so that's done. I'm just gonna change to become _root_x. It's gonna make our life easier. Okay, so next is we go to this directory here, and then we're looking for files. When we talk about type C, we're looking at characters. So character device and device files in the dev with at least these permissions here. So that's why we have the minus. And then I'm gonna do enter, and this is what we get. So we'll go to the find here, the dev directory, and we're looking for anything of type C. Anything. Find the files that have device files that have the C device that have this character, and then they what we need, they have at least those permissions 2. So that would be read and write, only write. So we have those here. I'm gonna clear my screen, and then I'm gonna do find /etc. This the then we go to the system D, then perm, it's again permissions, then we're gonna do /100. This is to find files in the /etc, not ext. So that would be /etc system D. So that with the permissions would be the this is to indicate that the files are executable by at least their owners. It should be owners and groups, group members. So I'm gonna do that, and those are the files that we're looking for. And then find, we go to the user, then we're looking for type L, standing for sim-linked file with permissions. I'm gonna move my mic so that I can see my notes here. With permissions, now we're using the symbolic permissions, symbolic form. So meaning user, owner, and group, they have these permissions, read and write. Then I press enter. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's a lot of files. And moving on, you can use, now we're talking about actions here. So you can actually use the find command with -exec, meaning this is that you can add, and then you can also add OK flags. So you can do that, and that's what I'm gonna show you now. So let's say we want to find in the root file system files by the name of core, and then the type would be only directories. We're gonna find directories with the name core. And then what we do next, that's the exec, that's the action. We're gonna long list all of these directories and everything in them. So we wanna list everything in them there, and then we close our statement here. So press enter. You see? So this is what we get. And what this command did is not only it found all directories, that's why you have the type D with the name core, but we told the command to also execute this command here. So ls, all of those, long list all of those directories, and we want to see everything about these directories. So you have, and then when you look at these, you see the beginning with D, meaning directories. So I'm gonna clear the screen, and next what we're gonna do, we're gonna go to this path here, just config, and we're looking for files. So that would be by name, looking for files that, using again here the wild card that ends with conf. And what we do, we just say OK, and then we copy everything, and that's it. So we find everything, every file that ends with conf. So that's why you put the wild card before, meaning that the rest we will focus only on these here, .conf. So we find everything in this path, on this path, and then when we find it okay, then we copy. So let's do that. Enter. So they're saying, okay, do you want to copy? You can do Y or yes. And follow parent after, try copy for more option. Let me try to run the command again. Okay, missing destination file. We're missing a destination file. So because we want to copy, where do we want to copy this? Let me try this. So we copy everything. We want to copy it here, and then do that. Let me try that. Okay, so we were missing this. Where do you want to copy that? And if you now, I'm gonna clear. So now if you ls, you get what you just copied. You know, everything that ended with conf from that directory. Look at the command here. From this directory. Everything that end with conf, that's what we have. NF tables. And that's it. So you see how easy this stuff is? Just a piece of cake. I tell you, it's a piece of cake. And that's pretty much what you need to know about the find command. And thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next video. In the meantime, continue to be blessed and continue to share love and peace with every human being that you meet today and always. God bless.